Welcome guys. So as promised, this week we're going to be making some pizza. Yay, we are finally baking. So let's get into it. So first we have to make our pizza dough, and of course you need some flour. Now this is all-purpose flour and some instant yeast as well. And then we get to, I'm just showing you guys the brand. Then some pasta sauce. Ordinarily, I should make this from scratch, but I was feeling really lazy, so I'm just going to use this. And it's already really delicious. It has some basil, so it gives a really nice flavor. In another video, we're just going to do how to make some marinara sauce. Okay, so we have some green pepper and then 1 bulb of onion. We're going to dice that later. To the sausages, and I'm using sardia because that's what we had. Don't judge me, guys. Yes, imperial is nicer, but I had sardia. And then some cheese. This is a little block of mozzarella. I got it from ShopRite as well. You can see the width, and it's about from 10 to about 15 cds. You can get a really chunky block. Now to the main thing, chicken. Now I had some whole chicken, so I decided to cut out the breasts, but you can use actual chicken breast. You just cook it in some salt and black pepper and you're good to go. So if you're like me, I don't have a dough making machine, so we're going to do this by hand. So in a bowl with some flour, you're going to add your salt, just a tiny bit, and then you add some yeast as well. You don't add a lot of yeast because you don't want it to rise. And then some sugar, just to make the bread a bit sweeter. You go on ahead and mix all that together, and then you add some water. Now at this point, you're going to have to tweak it however you want. And so as your mixture is forming, if it's too dry, you add some water. If it's too soft, you add some flour. I forgot to add eggs, but I added it anyway. So there you go, added my eggs. So you should add the eggs at the beginning of the process. So you put some flour on the countertop and transfer the dough, and then this is where you're going to go ahead and knead the dough. And I'm going to show you guys how to knead with a slower video. So it's like you pull one side in and you use the bottom of your palm to drag the other side out. So after kneading for about 5 minutes, that's what the dough looks like. And we're going to go ahead and transfer this into a really well oiled bowl, and then leave the dough to rise just a little bit. So you're going to cover it with some cling film and you leave it for about 30 minutes. So now we go ahead and we dice the onions, carrots, sausages and green pepper, just like that. So I cooked the chicken in some salt, black pepper and thyme, and now we're just going to go ahead and shred it up, and then it's going to look like that when you're done. So after 30 minutes, that's what the dough looks like, very soft. And I divided this into two because we're making 2 different pizzas. So I put some flour on a wine bottle and you just roll from inside out until you get a very flat dough like that. So you oil your pizza pan, and with your really light dough, you transfer that in there and just use the edge of your fingers to get the circular shape out. So you push it to the end. So now we go ahead and add our pasta sauce, and you just spread it in a circle. You can see the pieces of basil in there, and this sauce is just going to make the pizza really delicious because it has all that flavor. So now we go ahead and add the rest of the toppings in the order of cheese, veggies, proteins, then more cheese. So after adding everything, your pizza should look like that. Let me just point out that you can actually put your chicken in some barbecue sauce or whatever you want just to make it more juicy. I wanted it lean, that's why I used it like that. So you pop that in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes and there you go. I mean, the recipe is pretty straightforward. You can tweak it however you want. You can add more cheese if you really like cheese. You can add more proteins. You can add more veggies, some fresh basil, however you want it. But basically, that's the simple, straightforward recipe. So as you guys can see, this is a fairly thin crusted pizza. It's really, really thin, and it has doesn't have so many toppings because I wanted it to be fairly healthy. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know when you try it out. As always, add me on Twitter or on Instagram when you try the recipe out, and leave your comments, share, like, subscribe, and stay tuned to see what we're going to do next week. Bye. So next week we're going to learn how to make this green chili sauce, and it's incredibly spicy, so make sure you don't miss it.